record so that those that didn't make it tonight, we can still have some Gozleme inspiration to share with them. We've got a couple more. And it's just watching.
Hi,
Thanks,
Annette.
Rosemary, hello. Hi, Michael. Michael looks like he's going to cook along too.
Hello. Yes, I'm going to cook along.
Hello, Mr. Clough. How are you?
Good, thanks, Lorette. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Hi, Anne and everybody else.
Just hold on 2 seconds. I can't. Oh, where are we? Okay, I'll just quickly share the screen and do our introduction before we get into it. Not cook along, not cooking class, it's cook along. Right screen. Lorette and I are presenting to you Gozleme tonight. I'm Courtney and I'm the team leader of Team Bloom from West Wyalong, and the fabulous Lorette Chapman is one of the star consultants of my team from Temora. So if you want to follow us on social media, you'll find Lorette at ThermoRet on Facebook and ThermoRet on Instagram. I'm only on Instagram at the moment because my Facebook has been hacked, but that's not a story for tonight. So don't try and find me on Facebook or you'll find some dude trying to sell clothes. Anyway, nice try. It's not exactly the right clientele on my page for clothes, but anyway, Gozleme. Can't wait. Lorette is so passionate about this recipe, and I'm sure you're all about to be as well. We've been trying to get together to do a cook along for this for a long time, so I'm super excited.
I think we've had a couple of reschedules, so I'm very sorry if anyone's been waiting and missed out on this one, but we're going to get to the end tonight.
All right, so let's over to you, Lorette. I'm just going to spotlight you.
Hi. Oh, I'm very big on my screen. Hi there. Alrighty. So this recipe will work in any model Thermomix that you have. It's on Cookie Doo in the Simply Delicious collection, which I'm sure you know, which is the collection that's all about saving money. So family meals that serve a lot of people for less than $5 a serve. I have saved the recipe in my planner for this week. Apparently that's all I'm making this week, but it just means I haven't put anything else in here. I'm not that organised. I know everyone else has got their dough ready to go, but I'm going to make it quickly tonight, and with my talking and carrying on, there probably will be enough time for it to prove while we cook the filling when we get started there. So 200 grams of milk. You'll probably notice that I'm not a very scientific cook. Everything's with me is very much sort of close enough is good enough. And just excuse me while I pop things away in the fridge as we go. So we've got 200 grams of milk, 1 egg. Oh, maybe I should have made dough earlier, having a good time. No eggshell in milk, I promise. 40 grams of olive oil. $150 grams of Greek-style natural yogurt. You could, of course, be much more organised than I am and make your own yogurt at home for even bigger savings. But we're using Tamar Valley, beautiful Tasmanian yogurt tonight. 2 teaspoons of instant yeast. I buy my yeast in these big containers and just keep it in the fridge. Okay, I'm going to put the measuring cup into the mixing bowl lid on like so, and going to spin it round at speed 6 just for 4 seconds. Leave our measuring cup in. I'd say we're probably going to heat this milk up. We are 3 minutes, 50 degrees. Alrighty. Has anyone made dough with yogurt before?
No.
No?
No.
No?
Yes.
Yes.
Because
Mike, is that you?
yeah, naan bread.
Margaret, sorry.
Yes, the naan bread uses yogurt.
Yes, does.
Lorette, what's under your Thermomix?
Oh, Courtney. That is my, it's a white slide board from the mix shop, one of our new ones. It lifts at the front and has little wheels at the back that move around so that you can shift the Thermomix pretty well anywhere on your bench very safely. And even while it's operating, apparently. It has little divots for the feet. So the feet that have your scales in them sit in those cutouts so that it never moves. Even when you're doing heavy loads of chopping or kneading, it won't shift around on that slide board, which is a bit of peace of mind. It makes it easy for people who may find Thermomix too heavy to lift and move, and people who might have carpal tunnel issues, or they have limited bench space and need to sit their Thermomix back from their workspace when they're not using it. It makes it easy to be able to pull it forward to use it when you're cooking.
What other colours can you get?
They come in black and also in a beech wood, which is like a light wooden colour. Probably similar to my over the camera. Probably similar to my chopping board that sits over my hot plate here.
Nice.
Wasn't very professional, was it?
Move back down. There you go.
There we go.
I've always been like, why does anybody need one of these? But now that I've got one, I really like it.
Yeah.
My second Thermomix doesn't have one, so I think it needs one too.
I think mine needs one too. I was very much in that camp and always told my customers that they're not required. The safest place for your Thermomix is directly on the bench. And that is obviously still true if you don't have a Thermomix slide board. But my favourite thing about this is actually how it makes it really easy to move the Thermomix around to clean behind it. Because as you saw me drop that eggshell in there, I'm a bit of a messy cook. So I've always got splashes and dropped ingredients and things over the back. And it makes it easier just to move it around to wipe around the back of the benches. 5 seconds to go.
I was really impressed with how stable the Thermomix stayed when I was kneading bread the other day.
Yeah. I'm sure you felt the same when you were kneading your dough tonight, Courtney.
Yes, but I wasn't as observant as I was when I did it the first time.
First time. You're used to it now. Alrighty. Oh, see, look, what did I say about being a mess? I've just dribbled milk all down the front of my screen. And we can't have that because the screen doesn't like it. All right. Tara,
I was just going to say, I just put a link to the glider board in the chat if anyone wants to check it out.
Awesome. Alrighty, so 600 grams of plain flour. You can also use baker's flour if you don't buy plain and you just buy baker's for bread making. So yes, 600 grams is a lot. This recipe makes a lot of food. So if you were making it for a smaller family, if you didn't want to freeze leftovers for another day, you could absolutely halve this. I'm not sure how you go about using half an egg, but adapt and overcome. I will talk a little bit later about how I portion my leftover leftovers of this recipe out to save for lunches and for quick meals on other nights. I'm going to do half a teaspoon of baking powder.
So how do you reheat them, Lorette?
Oh, Michael, it's a whole story. We'll get to it.
Okay.
Give me a minute. White sugar. I've got
Don't give it away yet.
this whole demonstration's worked around, Michael Clough.
You see.
Half a teaspoon of salt. I've just got sea salt flakes.
It's like reading a book, but they want to read the last page first.
Oh, he's one of those, aren't you, Michael?
No, I am not. But you're talking about, do you freeze them as well?
Yes. Let me
Good.
put this on knead, and we'll see if you can hear me over the kneading to talk about that. Please hold. All right. So this is maybe not the most environmentally friendly option, but this is what I do with my, see, I don't know how to say Gozleme. I say Gozleme, I don't know if that's right. So please excuse me if that's wrong. What I do is I portion mine out into 12 serves. You can make them bigger or smaller depending on your preferences or how big your family eats. But I find that lunches, this makes 12 for me. So I get 12 of each size plastic bag. I reuse these as well. I bring them back home. I'll wipe them out, bring them back home and run them through the dishwasher, and they get reused. I put a disc of the dough, so a 12th of the dough flattened out into a disc in here. I put a 12th of my filling in a little snack size Ziploc bag. This one's a bit bigger. This is a 400 ml one, but you can use the snack size ones from Woolworths. And then I take the disc of the dough in there, and then I flatten that out and I sit it on top inside and seal it up in the bigger bag. Then I freeze them all in a pile and take them to work for lunches, uncooked. So the filling is cooked because we cook that when we make it, but the dough is frozen and raw. And I take it to work and I sit it in the fridge, and by the time lunchtime rolls around, it has defrosted. And then I cook it in the sandwich press. So very technical. At work we have baking paper. Get a piece of baking paper. Pull the dough out with my hands, or you can use a cup or something to roll it out if you wanted to. If you're at home, you can use a rolling pin. And then I put it in the baking paper in the sandwich press at work, fold the top of the dough over and cook it like that. Hey presto, lunch is ready.
When you do that, can you do a little video of you doing it at work?
Yeah. Yep. We can do one of them tomorrow if you like.
Yes, please.
Okay. Let's do that tomorrow. You remind me, Courtney.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So this part of the recipe even has a little instructional video on your screen if you haven't made it yet. Transfer onto a silicone bread mat or a floured work surface and shape into a ball. So I'm just going to get rid of my lid because I'm going to use a clean bowl for the next part. I'm going to wipe up all the things I spilt during the first segment of this show. And then I'm going to get my big thermomat out.
That's why it's reality TV. You know, everybody spills stuff.
It is reality TV. I'm a bit of a clown. And we like to keep the people entertained. My thermomat's one of the very the old style that don't have the measurements and that on them. So it's a lot of dough. You can see that that bowl is half full. And we're just going to, even though it's got yogurt in it, like it hasn't stuck at all, it just pulls straight out. Really, really good. If you wanted to, you could absolutely just go on and make your filling in this bowl. It's not dirty enough that you would need to wash and dry it for the next step if you didn't want to. But I'm lucky enough to have a stash of bowls here, so I'm just going to move on to using the next clean one.
Perfect for the job, isn't it?
It is perfect for the job. So that dough is beautiful and warm. just going to roll it into a ball. No need for any flour or anything at this stage. Like that. Don't know if you can see. No, that's not going to work either. Live TV. All right. I'm just going to pop that over on my dining table, which is closer to the heater. Try not to trip over any cords. We'll grab an extra bowl that I prepared earlier. Pop it on there. And go next. Alrighty. Wrap in a silicone bread mat or place into a large glass bowl, cover with plastic wrap and set aside for 30 minutes. Meanwhile, continue with the filling. Alrighty.
I'm going to go to my kitchen now and cook along too.
Okay, who else is cooking along with us? We've got Michael and Anne, is it? Alrighty, 150 grams of tasty cheese. I'm using Colby. Tasty cheese is too strong for my taste. I prefer milder cheese. So.
And I'm using lactose free.
Oh, nice. Did you use lactose free yogurt as well and milk?
No, I did milk.
Okay. All right, so the first step is to grate our cheese. 6 seconds at speed 9. Transfer into a large bowl and set aside. I'm using a very large bowl. I'm using a plastic one because I don't want this filling to retain heat when we're done. You could use your thermoserver if you wanted to, if you had a bit more time than I do tonight. But the grated cheese, I'm just going to tip straight into that big bowl.
Lorette?
Yes.
Lorette?
Yes.
Is my bowl big enough?
I can't see your bowl.
Oh.
Will it fit that cheese? Hang on, let me swipe across. Where are you? Oh, there you are. Hello. What sort of bowl you got? Yes, that one will be fine, Court.
Okay. Thank you.
My pleasure. Alrighty. So I'll just pop that out of the road. Then we've got 5 sprigs of fresh mint. Do you know what? I actually started a herb garden. I've recently moved house and I started a herb garden. I have both mint and parsley growing in that herb garden, but I'm not used to having them and I forgot and I bought herbs today. So not so good for the budget that I was trying to, trying to help by having a herb garden. 5 sprigs of fresh mint and 5 sprigs of flat-leafed parsley. So all that goes in. 60 grams of fresh baby spinach. Now, if you wanted to make this recipe vegetarian, you easily could. You could use more spinach, more onion, more cheese, and leave the meat out. Or you could make less dough and make the filling as it is without the 500 grams of mince. It's very adaptable to any sort of, ways that you want to eat. If you want to have vegetarian lunches or vegetarian Gozleme, then that's how you do it. You can put whatever you like in it. You can just chop up a heap of cheese and spinach and onion together if you wanted. And
I saw a vegetarian Gozleme that had potato in it.
Had what, sorry?
Potato.
It sounds to me like you're saying Play-Doh, and I'm sure that's not right.
Potato.
Oh, potato. Yeah, absolutely. The potato would go really well with the spices that are in this. Potato, cheese, and spinach would be delicious.
And this mint and parsley smells amazing, Lorette.
Doesn't it? Yours is probably out of your garden, is it, Michael?
It is. No.
Funny that. All right, 2 seconds chop. And we're going to add that into our bowl of cheese. it never fails to amaze me how that's just, you know, just a cool 2 seconds of whizzing up. There is no excuses for not being able to hide vegetables in your food. Alrighty. Oh, and that smells even better now that it's all chopped. Right. So we're going to tear our scales off. Add 40 grams of olive oil into the bottom of the bowl. You could do less if you wanted. You could use ghee if you wanted to. 5 garlic cloves. This is something you measure with your heart. I've got 8 here. And 1 brown onion cut into quarters. I've got a big brown barbecue onion because I'm a big onion fan. 1 teaspoon of ground cumin. Lots of herbs, spices. So yeah, this really would go well with potato. Oh, it's got me wanting that. 1 teaspoon of ground cumin. The next one will be ground coriander, another teaspoon of that. Oh, the wrong end. Can't put a spoon in there. It's funny, I'm one of those people who doesn't like fresh coriander, but ground coriander, I'm here for it. It's delicious. And a teaspoon of paprika. This is optional. You could use chili, or a smaller amount of chili flakes if you wanted to. Just make it to your taste. Don't think you wouldn't like it just because it's got paprika in it. What was that? That step was telling me to put the lid on. We're going to chop our onion, garlic, and mix in the spices. It's not really chopping, it's more of a blend. Makes a pretty good onion paste, but speed 7. Which I will show everyone who's not cooking along, just in case you haven't made this yourselves before. It's very well chopped. So it's not diced onion, it's almost like a minced flavouring. Oops. How's your cooking going, Courtney? Why is it running now? Very potent.
All chopped up. I'm
keeping up. Okay, I'm just going to need a minute while my eyes get themselves back to regular programming. We're going to okay, 3 minutes on our highest temp, which is Varoma. Righty, a couple of other ways that you can cook your gozleme other than in a frying pan or in a sandwich press. One is in a like a jaffle maker, so in the triangles. That makes it really delicious and gives you lovely big pockets of hot filling rather than everything being very squashed down. Sorry, I don't do very well with raw onion. I'm a bit emotional about it. Did I cry? Oh, it's not worth crying over, and I promise that I am. Yeah, so you can make it in a frying pan, in a sandwich press, in a jaffle maker, in one of those snack makers, like a sausage roll maker, works in that as well. Makes 2 little rolls per serving, depending on, as I said, depending on how big you want to make them. It's entirely up to you and entirely personal preference, really. I'm using beef mince tonight. I did try and get lamb. I wanted to make it with lamb mince, but couldn't buy any lamb mince and couldn't buy any lamb that looked nice enough to make my own mince from. So we've got premium beef mince from my local butcher today. Is there anyone on the Zoom tonight who's made this before?
No,
Sorry?
no, I haven't made it.
No? So I'll just slide across to see. Is that Marilyn?
Yes,
Yeah, haven't made it before.
no,
Have you,
but I've always thought I'd make it, but never got round to doing it. But
Yeah.
it looks interesting.
It does. Have you tried it before, like from a street food stall or a
No, not
bed?
at all.
No, it's definitely really, really yummy. Whenever my family and I go to markets or where there's food vans, this is always what I buy.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'll have a go at it now.
Yeah.
You know, you look at recipes and you think, oh, I'd like to try that, but you like to see the ladies make it first. It gives you a little bit more confidence.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's good to hear. Well, let us know if there's anything in particular you ever want to see demonstrated that you think you'd like to have a bit of guidance with. I'm more than happy to book our cook-alongs or our demos around what you want to see, okay?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Maybe should have had an exhaust fan on for that. All right, so 500 grams of beef mince. I did buy a kilo today, so we don't need all of that. Let's have to. So you can definitely make your own mince, make it a bit chunkier. If you would like the texture a bit more, you'll find that the texture of this recipe with bought mince is quite thin, and the filling spreads out very well. But if you want to make your own mince and make it a bit chunkier, you can definitely do that too.
You were talking before about putting the mince in one bag and the pastry in the other. Can you cook them and then freeze?
Yeah, you can. Yep, absolutely. There's no reason why you couldn't. I haven't done it that way myself, but I've frozen plenty of pizza bases that have been cooked and that sort of thing. So it definitely works. Yeah.
It's just my grandies come after school, and I thought if they're cooked and I can take them out the freezer and stick them in the air fryer. And
oh wow, that's a great idea. Yep.
Yeah. Really
good idea. Alrighty. Sorry, my eyes are running again from the onion. Right. Tablespoon of plain flour. Just measure that at a good guess. Quarter of a teaspoon of salt. Just move that to the side. No, that's not going to work. That'll fall down. Sorry, me and my very little kitchen. Quarter of a teaspoon of salt, which is just a pinch. I'll do half a teaspoon of ground black pepper. I love pepper, so I'll probably triple that. 30 grams of lemon juice. I'm pretty lazy when it comes to juicing lemons, so just squeeze it in. This is some. All right. Okay, so now we're going to cook our mince mixture. So 4 minutes at 100 degrees. Speed 1, reverse. I'm just going to take this opportunity to tidy up my stove top so that I can cook for you in a moment.
Yeah, I've just had to clear a space, so I'm ready to roll. My dough's looking amazing.
Oh, very good.
It's about to explode out of the thermometer.
Oh, wow, that looks awesome. Good job. I'm sure it's looking like that too, Michael and Anne.
My rolling pin, ready to roll.
Oh, I didn't get a rolling pin out. Oh, good job, Michael. Your dough does look excellent. Get my rolling pin.
Tell you what I'm loving? I love the new preview button.
Yes. That is a
Is it
very
really
good idea.
got a preview button on their Thermomix screen? It's cool, isn't it? You can see the next step.
So the next step is that we're going to be scraping down our bowl, and then we've got another 5 minutes of cooking following that. I noticed too that the recipe calls for 250 grams of feta. So I always use the crumbly one, which is Greek feta, whereas Persian feta is smoother. So you want to get the crumbly Greek version. From the supermarket, a packet of feta is 200 grams. So I have done 250 today to do the recipe to what it says, but in the past when I've made this, I've definitely just used the 200 gram packet rather than having to use a full one plus open another. Okay. I'm very excited for dinner tonight.
I'm back at my desk now while my mince is cooking.
Yep.
I'll bring the slideshow up.
Has anyone made feta?
Ooh.
No.
No, I make ricotta often, but I haven't made my own feta before yet. Oh, Michelle, yes, you absolutely can. You can definitely, you know, if we're at work together, for example, and I've hogged the sandwich press, you could definitely keep it cold in your lunchbox and eat it straight out of the fridge or in the lunchbox with an ice pack. No different to having a chicken or a ham sandwich. As long as you keep it cold, it will be Mickey Mouse.
All right, I've got a child decided to come in and chat to me now. Yeah, so these are the mix up items we're going to use tonight, isn't it, Lorette?
Yes, it is.
Oh, ding, 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 ding. Is that yours?
It
Oh,
is.
Michael.
Sorry, I was just reading the chat comments that I had missed. Just saw that one of Michelle's pop up, that was all. Scrape down bottom and sides of mixing bowl with spatula. It doesn't really need to be scraped down, but we'll do it anyway. I will warn you, if you're cooking along for the first time, it's not the most appetizing looking concoction at this point, but it smells delicious, and I promise you we will rectify it with all of the other fresh ingredients added. Okay, another 5 minutes. My dough is very warm and puffy, but it's nowhere near as big as what you guys have got yours. So potentially should have made 2 lots of dough. But
Did you, sorry, I just had to duck off and deal with the child. Did you see Michelle's question in the chat?
Yes, I did. I answered that one. Yep.
Oh, what's the answer?
Well, the answer is yes. You absolutely could pack it in a lunchbox as long as you've got an esky brick or something there to keep it cold, same as you would with something that had ham or chicken or anything like that in it. I don't think it would be very nice at room temperature. Definitely needs to be hot or cold.
Still a happy household here with the child not wanting to go to bed and screaming at me. I keep going to come off mute and he comes in and yells. Anyway, so I'm going back to the PowerPoint.
Yep.
Yeah, so thermomat. Has everyone got one of those?
Yes.
I can't believe you don't have one with the circles, Lorette. Or do you just not have it out?
I do have one with circles. It's in my demo kit.
Oh, fair enough. That's a good excuse.
This is the older one that's just in my kitchen that I use all the time.
Yeah, right.
So, which is a good testament. They last a long time if you look after them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Have you got one of these rolling bins?
I do, but it's not in my kitchen drawer. It's in my box of stuff that's for sale. I have it for poor people's version.
Oh well, same.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is shorter and chubbier. The French one from the mix shop is longer, so you can do bigger dough with it.
I didn't think I needed one of those because I've got a tiny kitchen and I didn't think I'd have room to maneuver it. But it is the best rolling pin I've ever used because I can just kind of, wiggle around one end and not have to
Yeah, that's right.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I agree with you. I've used the big one at demos or cooking experiences, and they are excellent.
And a little bowl scraper is great for cutting your dough.
Yes. I'm prepared with one of those today. I'll be using.
My Thermomix is dinging, so I'm going back to my kitchen.
Okay. I must have talked too much in the middle there somewhere, sorry. Just grabbing another spatula. I seem to have lost a couple of spatulas recently. I wanted to use that newer one to cut the dough, so I've pulled out the old faithful to get this meat out of the bowl when it's done. 1.5 minutes to go.
That's years overdue. If it had been done properly some years ago, I would still have my son.
The report blasts the Department of Veterans Affairs compensation system is so complicated.
You're on mute, Courtney.
I put mine in a plastic bowl. Is that what you said to do, Lorette, so it cools down?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you want to don't put it in if you're going to be cooking it straight away, you want it to cool down as quick as possible so that it's not if you put it in a metal or a glass bowl, it's going to retain heat for longer. My machine's cooling down.
I'm going to put it in 2 bowls just to try and cool it down a bit quicker. Smells good.
It does smell amazing. So all I can think about now is cooking it with potato. Put me on this.
Potatoes are...
Alright. So we're going to, so it's all cooked up. Oh, sorry, I'll scroll back to me. It's all cooked up. It doesn't look very appetizing, but it will look better momentarily. So we're going to pop that into a second bowl. So I've got 2 big. So it is hot. Just I'll spread mine out a little bit to try and get it to cool down. It smells so yummy. Okay, so the next step is to place a plate onto the mixing bowl lid and weigh onto it 250 grams of crumbled feta cheese. I have weighed mine out in advance. Add the feta and cooled mince mixture into the bowl with cheese and herb mixture and stir to combine. So we'll just give this a wave. It'll be fine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tip the green mix straight onto my actually no, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get my dough ready to do a serve, to cook a serve of this first while that cools down a tiny bit. So I'll just move this Thermomix back to the corner on my trusty glider board. So when you've got, I don't know how we do this to be able to see my stove top a bit better. I'm sorry if it's not straight, everyone. Don't hurt your necks trying to tilt to watch it. So that's proved nicely. It doesn't need, it's got oil in the dough, got yogurt in the dough. It's not sticky. It's not a sweet dough, so it's not going to stick to your hands a lot, especially as there's not humid weather. So as I mentioned before, I like to do mine into 12. So what I do is I chop it in half. Again, doesn't need to be a science. If you wanted to weigh it out and divide it by how many serves you wanted to get it even, you could. There's plenty of people out there who weigh their bread rolls to get them uniform. Then half again, and then I need to chop that into 3. All right, so I'm just going to make up 1 portion tonight. Obviously, and not everyone on here will know that I have had weight loss surgery, so I eat smaller amounts than the usual adult. So 12 might not be right for you. You might like to get 6 or 8 serves from this. But that being said, it is definitely enough to feed a family of 5 or 6 people for dinner really, really easily and well. Okay. So I'm going to put my dough, that's my leftover dough. What am I going to do? I'm going to wrap it back up in this thermomat, ready to portion out later. But what we'll do is I'll just grab something. Just sit this piece of dough in my frying pan because I'm struggling for bench space here. So I'll pop that off to the side. The rest of this dough.
Okay, Lorette.
Yes.
So we need to roll one out into a round shape?
Yes.
Okay.
Or you could do it in a triangle, Michael. You could make a big square. You could roll out all of your pieces. If you're going to cook it all tonight, roll it out to whatever size you like, whatever portion size you want to cook at the moment. But generally, yes, we do in a round shape.
20 centimetres. Perfect on circles.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm a bit like Lorette. I'm using my older mat.
Yeah, okay. I hadn't skipped through the rest of the instructions. It does say that you can divide the dough into 16 pieces. So they want to make it even smaller than what I'm doing, which is fine. It floats your boat. So 16 pieces, and roll each one of approximately 40 grams worth of dough out to a large circle between 15 and 20 centimetres. That's what the instructions say. And then place approximately 2 tablespoons of the filling onto one half of the dough, leaving a 1 centimetre border, and fold over the dough to enclose the filling. So,
Cool down enough. Doesn't matter. The cheese is all going to melt anyway, isn't it?
well, that's right. We're going to cook it all up together. I'll just pop that on a chopping board.
So we can tip all the. So can we tip all the feta and the cheese, everything in together?
Yes, we can. I'm getting to that. Sorry, I was just letting the meat cool down. I was just going to put my pan on to heat up because I have the world's worst stovetop. So it will take me a little minute to get that organised for you. If anyone's got any recommendations for good brands of stovetops, I'm probably going to get an induction one, I think.
I've got an induction portable one.
Oh, that's fancy.
Yeah, just because we don't use with the Thermomix, we don't need all the pots and pans.
Yeah, absolutely.
We just got one hot plate.
Yeah.
I've got a customer that did up her kitchen and she didn't even put in hot plate.
Oh wow!
Yeah. No, I use mine for cooking pancakes and steak.
Yeah, so she's just a portable one like Michael.
Yeah, right. Okay, so large frying pan over medium to high heat and lightly spray with oil. So I've gone almost high heat because, like I said, my stovetop's terrible. I don't use spray oil, but we'll use a little bit of olive oil if the recipe calls for it. All right, now
I love these little spray bottles.
Oh, have you got like one of the little atomizer sort of ones?
From the mix shop.
Oh, of course. Okay, so I've got my mince there. It has cooled down a lot while we went and did that dough. So I'm going to add in my cheese and my spinach, like so. Put that bowl away.
FYI, bowl you told me was big enough for everything? Not big enough.
Oh, sorry. Zoom is deceptive. 250 grams of feta. Add it in. I'll just give it a gentle stir because keep all that feta nice and chunky. And it looks suddenly a lot more appetizing than the mince did on its own. So it looks beautiful and fresh and yummy.
Approximately 2 tablespoons of filling onto one half of the dough. Okay.
So I'm going to say 2 tablespoons is like maybe a spatula full. Like I said, there's no science here.
And is there a particular way you wrap them?
What I like to do, so the instructions say to fold half over and pinch the edges. I like to fold all my dough in to the middle, so it creates a little castle.
Hey.
And then sort of give it a bit of a press down. And the reason I do that is because when I cook it in a sandwich press, you don't get everything flying out to the side when you put weight on it.
Oh, that makes sense.
That's why I'm in that habit. Okie dokie, artichoke. All right, now I'll just wait for my world's slowest hot plate to heat on up and cook that for me.
Oh my God, this is so exciting.
I'm glad that you're excited, Courtney. Did you use beef?
Yep.
Are you going to eat it?
Yep.
Good girl. I'm glad you're trying.
I'm going to try the potato.
You're not going to have a heart attack. Promise. Alrighty, I'll just have a look and see. Marilyn, what meat do you think you would use for the grandkids to make this? Would you do it with beef?
I'd definitely use beef or pork.
Yeah.
Either I think it'd be nice.
Yep.
But I'm interested in the way you fold it up, because I was wondering, if I can never get anything much in a circle.
Yeah.
When I roll it out.
Yeah, if you have a thermo mat, you can use that as a guide, because it's got the lines on it. If you've got
I have got one, but it still never seems to go circling for me.
No, that's right. I'm a bit the same with, whenever I make scrolls and things like that. It's supposed to be a rectangle. It's often not. It all tastes the same at the end.
That's it. That's right. And
yeah.
I never get too many rejections, so I'm quite happy.
That's good to hear. No complaints. Mine's starting to sizzle a little bit. So obviously the filling is already cooked. It's already cooked. Right. So you don't have to worry about heating it up to cook the insides. We're just basically cooking the dough. So it'll take probably, what does this say? It says 2 to 3 minutes each side. So on my stovetop, that's probably 10.
That's pretty quick, isn't it?
It is pretty quick, because you roll the dough, very thin. So it doesn't take long to cook. And I don't know whether anyone would be able to see on the video here that my dough is puffing up, like that heat come through, and we're getting little pockets of air in there. So it's, it's not going to take all that long. And obviously then if you cook it in a sandwich press or an air fryer or anything like that, you're cooking both sides at the same time anyway. So it's going to be quicker than it is on the stove.
I wonder how it would go in a pizza oven.
Yeah, I was
go really well.
I was thinking that this afternoon, Courtney.
I'm not going to go outside and turn mine on to try it today.
Yeah, if we get a nice night, I will go out and do that. But it's raining here and tomorrow.
Can you do more than one time?
Oh, you definitely could. I'm just cooking one because that's all I'm going to eat tonight, and I want to put the rest in my freezer. You can cook as many as will fit in your frying pan. You can make them as big as you want, as long as it'll fit in your frying pan.
I've got 2 in my frying pan. Better feed my husband, I suppose.
Oh, that looks lovely.
Oh my gosh, this is so cool. Have you made these before, Michael?
No, I haven't. So I'm very keen to see how they turn out.
They're looking amazing.
Well, there's my first one.
Oh, can I have a look? Where is it, Michael?
Just like,
oh, wow.
Probably a bit thick, but practice makes better.
I've had a filling explosion.
Oh, there.
Rolled too thin. This is mine. Ooh,
Oh, nice.
Looks nice.
amazing.
Well, my doughs aren't even. So so Lorette, have you made them and frozen them with the filling in them?
Lorette, you're on mute if you're talking. Lorette.
How did that happen?
I don't know.
Sorry. I've been having a lovely conversation with myself. I haven't done it that way, Michael, no, but I do know people that have. And I do know that I freeze a lot of pizza dough and scrolls and stuff like that are already cooked, and they defrost really well. So
Yeah.
I think that this would be no different. I want to put the pretty side up. So, oh, look at that.
Looks lovely.
Beautiful.
Turn the stove off. Okay, so get all those crunchy, yummy bits out of the pan too, I think. Ah, hit me. There, I'll grab a knife. A knife and some tongs so that I can see how this. I might just put a tea towel under that because I can see the plate going sliding across the hot plate since it's glass. Alrighty, so just like a sandwich, cut through it like so, and yeah, yummo.
Nice.
Is that filling enough for the 12 you made?
Yes, yeah, it will be. There is a heap left. So there is. So I used sort of one spatula's worth.
Yeah.
In that.
Yes.
There is bucket loads.
I can see.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you can make them as big or as small as you like. So as I said before, the recipe says you can make 16. And I was talking about how I'm a small eater. Apparently I'm a big eater since I only make 12.
Yeah, but that's quite a good size, that what you've made.
Yeah, that's right. That's I think I've cut that a bit too early. It's a bit hot, but it's sort of what I've made there is similar to a toasted sandwich size.
Yeah,
so,
that's the size I would like. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Done.
Very
Done?
nice, Courtney.
Oh,
My
wow. Very pretty.
strategically placed to cover up the split.
Well done. And then we just go a squeeze of lemon over the top before you eat it, if you like lemon, which I do. You may have noticed I put lemon earrings on today as well for the occasion. And then, yeah, that's it. We're done.
Can you bag one up and show it?
Can I bag one up? Absolutely. Give me a moment to just get some space here that's not hot. Alrighty. So these bags that I use from IKEA are quite big. You can do this with smaller ones. Sorry, while I just try and work around my. I'll turn that hot plate off so that it stops trying to cook me. Dropping stuff. All right. So we'll grab a portion of dough. I didn't think everyone wanted a video of me picking stuff up off the floor. All right. So what I do is I have my portion of dough here, like that. That was just a rough guess at my 12. I flatten it out to about half the size of what I would use when we're cooking. And I sit it in a Ziploc bag like this. You can also get food storage and takeaway containers that have got 2 compartments in them, and they work well for this as well. And then I get a portion of my mince. And pop it in this bag. I normally use a spoon so I don't throw it everywhere. And seal that up. Let the air out.
Anyone had a taste?
Not yet. Making this bag for you. And then, see, I sit that in there and then I seal it up together and then I freeze them in a stack like that. Cool. Really easy to just grab one out and take for lunch, or to grab one out when I'm home, cook it in the sandwich press, cook it in a frying pan, whatever. It takes, not long at all to defrost if you leave it out of the freezer, and it's definitely done in a few hours if you pop it in the fridge to defrost as well. Easy as that. So there's my lunch for tomorrow packed, and I'll post a little video of how I cook it in the sandwich press tomorrow. Okay. Well done.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
No, thank you very much for coming along.
Michael,
Hold on. I'm just going to share with you the rest of our PowerPoint quickly. So that you know what cooking classes are on next. So in 2 weeks' time, we've got Belinda and Team Big Sky presenting this menu. They've got the warm Aussie potato salad, some naan bread, and they're going to use the rice cooker mode to make some rice. So they're showing off some of the modes of the Team 6 there. And Cookie Do information session is on next week during the daytime, next Wednesday at 12:30. So you might want to come and even I, 6 years on, still pick up stuff about Cookie Do. Still things we don't know. So there must be some things that you guys can come and discover as well. And this is our brand new limited time offer. It's just started today and it just goes for 11 days that you can add a pizza oven to your Thermomix purchase for 50% off, which is very exciting. We all love our pizza ovens, don't we?
Yep.
It is very cool. The perfect partner to your Thermomix. So if you've got any friends that are interested, let them know. If you want to come and have lots of fun like tonight with us on a more permanent basis, you could join our team with a half-price business kit. So if that's of interest to you, please stick around and we can give you some information, or speak to your consultant and she can invite you to a business information session. And make sure you join us over on the Mixperts Facebook group so that you don't miss out on any more updates from us. And that's it. Over and out.
Thanks very much. Thank you everyone for coming along.
Follow Thermo Rep so that you get her lunchtime video tomorrow.
Yep. Do that.
Thank you.
See you in the next class.
Thanks for coming. Thanks, Mel.
See ya, Anne.
See you, Michael.
Bye, Lorette. Bye, Courtney.
Bye, Michael. Thank you.
Bye.